Welcome everybody to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry. We back for another Sunday conversation. We are excited because again, I know this past week our Hidden Gym show was canceled. Our Educational Thursday. I don't know where the people are going. I think they stuck in Tahoe where all the snow is snowing down, or maybe they in Chicago where the Teslas can't move because it's so cold. I think that's what happened. All my guests couldn't make it, but we are still here. Things are happening as this year unfold. Today is our Sunday conversation, and again, we're just happy to be here. We're talking about self-care and wellness today. So many things to talk about. Self-care, very important as we step into this new year. A lot of changes. Folks having New Year's resolution, things that they're talking about. I don't know. Self-care is very important this year. This year, we need to have a little bit more of it. I'm going to do my part to try to get some self-care as well. But before I pass it over to Mark and Io, I want to give a huge shout out to my guy, Nate, at the SF Rebels. 34 years of service of our young people, teaching them basketball, teaching them life skills, giving them opportunities. So many young people that the Rebels have seen go to college, go to professional level. And, it's just a great testament to the work when you have people out there doing work. But shout out to Nate for passing the torch. I'm always talking about the elders in the community passing the torch. He's passing this junior NBA league over to some young, good brothers in the community that are up and coming, doing their things. And that's what we need when we talk about leadership, the changes that are happening. How do we pass the torch to our young people, give them an opportunity to put their spin on things, to uplift the work and continue to work moving forward? Definitely Nate has a lot of networking, connections, and he'll be doing his thing to help support them. And that's what it's all about. So shout out to Nate and the SF Rebels. 34 years of service, 34 seasons, great stuff. I was happy to be out there and get to see the young people. It's always great to see the young people balling up and down the court, having a good time, and just seeing when they win that level of success and that excitement, something to keep the young people excited about, something great to see the dads out there, the moms, even the folks that ain't together, co-parenting happening, adulting happening. And it was very good to see that, and great stuff to keep the parents up and involved on the weekends. So shout out to Nate for all of the work that's going on. There was a number of amazing events that's taken place over the last couple of weeks. Just want to give a shout out to all the people who came out to the Martin Luther King March. Very powerful to see the people out in community. We talk about what's going on in the world. We talk about the human rights violation that's happening globally and locally, and to see all of the people in solidarity. There's so many issues that impact community. Just to see all of the community out was very, very important, touching. Thanks to all the both sides of the conversation team, to all the community partners, just to see the Human Rights Commission out there, Mega Black, Collective Impact, Bayview Magic, Mo Magic, Bayview Opera House folks from APR. Just nice to see all of the community organizations out, United Players, all of the folks out there. My boy D Brown, it was just great. Glide, all of the folks out there. Just celebrating the life, the legacy, and the birth date of Martin Luther King as we continue to push forward in this country, as we continue to work together to uplift community. When we see what's going on, okay, the alarms are ringing. Community, we're going to have to walk together in solidarity. Y'all see what's going on? I don't know. They keep talking about the polls and what's going on. Trump's all over the place. I don't know. Community, get ready. We got some interesting times coming. The level of influence that is happening across this country where folks are trying to make change, make opportunities. It's going to be an interesting year as the budget cuts continue to happen, as the layoffs continue to happen, as the job market continues to shrink. I'm looking at the stock market. Investments are looking a little doubtful, right? Things are happening, okay? So we got to get ready, community, to get ready to fight the storm, because it's going to be a storm. It's going to be a lot of obstacles and trials and tribulations as community we're going to have to overcome as we continue to fight, to have space, to have a space to be recognized. When we talk about equity and being able to be at the table, we're going to have to continue to fight as all these things we'll be watching during the year to play out. But again, great to see community out. A couple things on that, and I'll touch on it a little later, that I wasn't so happy about. And Mark and y'all know how I feel. The young people didn't get to speak. And we'll talk about that a little bit today. We have all these folks in the community speaking. And when we have major events like Martin Luther King March, where are the young people at? Right? When we talk about moving the movement, when we talk about Martin Luther King's dream, his passion, the Children's March, when you think about in the civil rights, how the youth changed this country, okay? Let's not forget, okay, the Civil Rights Act was put in place because of the youth who walked out of school, who was in Alabama, who stood up against the unjust, okay, that was going on so that they could vote. So let's not forget that the young people needs to be involved. And again, all through this year, as I work, and I'm going to use my influence to make sure that the people who are planning these events, how do we get the young people involved? You can't tell me in San Francisco with all of the amazing students at USF, San Francisco State, San Francisco City College, San Francisco high schools, we can't find a small amount of young people who could talk on the legacy of Dr. King, could talk about where we're going as a country, to talk about their experiences as young people. I don't know, okay? I don't like what's happening. I need my elders. I need all of my folks who like to eat up the microphone, okay? Give it to the young people. Like, bring some young people up and let them speak. So I'm going to do my part to keep advocating for the young people. I know we have some amazing, brilliant young people out there that can take the mic and amplify the voices of young people and the legacy and the work of Dr. King. I know we got some phenomenal folks out there, and I'm excited about that. But before we pass it on, just want to say a couple things, in this year of self-care, in this year of work, we have to remember what this work about. You know what I mean? A lot of times folks are doing the work and they're not doing it because it's pure in their heart. And this year, I just want to make sure our community stay energized and remember the work is for the people. We're not going to worry about all the outside noise, what's going on. Just make sure that you're working for the people. We need a little bit more radical love. We need a little bit more radical unity. We need some people that care about people in this country, in this state, and even in this city. People are being impacted with homelessness, substance abuse, loss of work. Have some humility and compassion out there, community. That's all I want to say today. Just have some humility and compassion. Folks are struggling, mental health. Have some patience. And bless some people when you get an opportunity. So with that being said, Brother Mark, the voice is here. I know Houston ain't in it no more, Mark, but you're here today. Talk to people, brother.
Well, first of all, let me just send a lot of love out to the community. Again, like you said, I know people are going through stuff. We all are. Everything that we do is motivated by trying to bring hope and encouragement to the people. So all love to the people. Yeah, my feelings, a little hurt because my Texans get knocked out by the Ravens, but I gotta say, I'm very encouraged about the future of our franchise here, man. The whole city of Houston feels a lot better about being Houston Texans fans. So yeah, shout out to CJ Stroud, Coach D'Amico. Yeah, so now I ain't gonna lie, I'm rooting for San Francisco to go and knock them Ravens off because they took my boys out the picture. But again, it's gonna be a good thing. Oh, and another thing, because you was talking about the young folks not getting the microphone. All my young folks, here's what you do. Because again, these old folks, some of them stuck in their ways, but y'all got technology. Go blasting with TikToks, YouTube videos. Y'all can put together your voice and leverage it through social media. And I'm sure we can do something where we'll highlight videos because again, we want to hear what you have to say because we have to pass the torch. So on behalf of all the elders that have messed the process up, we are campaigning to make sure that our youth are empowered and prepared to speak their voice for the next generation because somebody's going to have to carry on both sides of the conversation.
Man, that's real talk. So with that being said, Sister Io, our Niners won. Okay, bang bang Niner gang. We'll be hosting the Lions next week. Io, how you feeling about that win? Go Niner fans.
I am very excited, actually. I am a diehard Niner fan since birth. Let's go Frisco, stand up, of course. But we are very excited for our 49ers here. I just want to say good afternoon to the community. And this being self-care awareness day, month, year, this is the year of manifested promises. So going around being selfless for so long myself, my self-care is very important to me. And within this first 3 weeks of this year, I've been booming. Okay. It feels amazing. Okay. To pour into yourself. That way you are the light and you are the beam that's going to attract that energy, those vibes, and surround yourself with people that are like-minded and like-hearted. That way it is a circle and a foundation built for self-care all around, and you will be the model behavior of what you expect around you. So making sure you pour into yourself so you are able to pour into others.
Come on, man. We blowing it up early and for often around here, but just want to say that is very important when we talk about model behavior and what our young people see as elders. We have to do that, and we got to continue to push through that. Real quick to community. Okay, we are a couple of weeks away from our bowling event. We have our essay contest. Parents, make sure your kids got the information. Check out our Facebook, our Twitter, any one of our social media handles, the information to get your essay in. Please do it. Our bowling event is coming up. We're getting excited. The end of February 24th and 25th, 2-day event. The invitation for the ceremony and award show. People are getting their invitations. Folks are responding. So it's going to be a nice show to see all the folks that's starting to sign and get in there. And then on Sunday, we'll have our bowling event. We are excited, community. We looking forward to seeing community out. Please make sure you register this year. Different venue. We're not at C-Bowl. We're going to be at Classic Bowl this year. This year, you have to register. We are already almost at the halfway part of the people that we could get into this bowling event. Once it fill up, and if you don't sign up and get your kids signed up, we can't let you in because it's going to be too many people. We're predicting a large amount of folks. So, and we're seeing the numbers. These registration submissions are coming in. So please make sure you register, because you ain't yelling at me when you see, man, I couldn't get in the bowling event, bitch. What's going on? Why y'all do me like that? Okay, it's going to be going down. The kids are excited. There's going to be money flying, things happening. I'm just telling you, you don't want to miss this one. This is going to be the one, y'all. If you don't know how we do it, go check out Both Sides of the Conversation YouTube. Check out our bowling event last year. So if you're looking for what kind of experience that you're going to experience, it's going to be high intensity. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of giveaways. It's going to be a lot of love, a lot of Black joy, a lot of uplifting the people. That's what it's all about. That's what our Hidden Gem segment is about, uplifting our Black and brown business community. I need you. Where's my Black businesses at? Where's my brown business at? Sign up for our Hidden Gem show. I don't know. I need somebody to come educate my people. This Thursday, I need an educational Thursday presenter. All you smart people. Yeah, all of you educated geniuses out there. All of you people that are in upper management. Come educate our people. Come do a PowerPoint presentation so our community can be blessed with that information, because we know sometimes our community don't get it, and we're trying to intentionally bring the great information to the people, the community, our people. Let's go. Let's share that knowledge. All right. With that being said, Brother Mark, it is time to get into the news. I will get into the events. We'll get this show kicked off. We got to talk about self-care. Go ahead, brother.
All right. Let me put on my newscaster voice as we jump into the headlines. Our first headline in world news: Blinken departs for West Africa as Russia and China look to leverage their influence. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken departs for a four-nation trip to Africa on Sunday as the Biden administration seeks to prove the U.S. is a key partner on a continent where China and Russia have exerted their influence. Blinken is slanted to visit Cape Verde, Ivory Coast, Nigeria, and Angola in a bid to show that Africa remains a priority amid a slew of global crises. And the next headline: in a CNN poll, Trump lead over Haley widens to double digits in New Hampshire. The race for the New Hampshire Republican presidential primary appears to be former President Donald Trump's to lose. According to a new CNN poll conducted by the University of New Hampshire's following Trump's 30-point win in Iowa's caucuses last week, Trump holds 50% support among likely Republican primary voters in the Granite State, while his closest competitor, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, stands at 39%. Both have gained supporters since the last CNN UNH poll in early January, when Trump held 39% to Haley's 32%, as the field of major contenders has shrunk. Both Trump and Haley now hold their highest level of support in polling in the races since 2021. But Haley's sharp gains since late last summer have not been enough to catch Trump, as the gap between them have widened once again to double digits. And also, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced today that he is ending his White House bid and endorsing the former president. Also in the headlines, handwritten draft of Beatles' Lovely Rita lyrics to be available at San Francisco exhibition. San Francisco is a city with frustratingly expensive parking tickets, but next month, residents may clamor for a chance to spend up to $650,000 on some kind words written about a parking enforcement officer. A notebook page of Paul McCartney's handwritten lyrics for the Beatles' Lovely Rita will be available for sale in February at the 56th California International Antiquarium Book Fair, which will take place February 9th through February the 11th on San Francisco's Pier 27. Also in the headlines, San Francisco downtown's deep freeze. Winter has settled upon downtown San Francisco, with remote work here to stay and hybrid scheduling required only a few days per week in office is becoming the norm. Office vacancies in the city's business core started the year at a record 35.6%, according to real estate firm CBRE. That is roughly equivalent to 22.5 Salesforce towers, and experts expect the empty space to grow. The effects of so many workers not coming to offices has been far-reaching, hurting building owners dependent on rents, retail businesses that need foot traffic, public transit agencies that need passengers, and city tax revenues that fund public services. City officials have responded with a range of initiatives aimed at stimulating business activities, making streets cleaner and safer, and converting underutilized buildings into housing. Still, the vacancy numbers have continued to climb as companies have shed space. And why the race to replace Governor Gavin Newsom is already so crowded. The effects of so many workers not coming to offices has been far-reaching. Okay. And again, city officials have responded with a range of initiatives. Okay, so my apologies. We've put this story in twice with a different headline. That will do it for the news.
Look at you, brother. You catching it on the spot. You know what I mean? You catching it. That's just all it happens. But you know what? That's the news that's going on is so much, man. We just gotta keep pushing. But we'll get there. But Sister Ayo, go ahead and get through the events. I know it's a lot of events, so we can get this show on the road.
Okay, we have San Francisco HRC invites you to community budget presentation on January 23rd from 6 to 7 p.m. at the Public Library. Booker T. Washington Community Service Center and the San Francisco Planning Department African American Historic Context Statement Community Forum, Wednesday, January 24th from 5:15 to 7 p.m. at Booker T. Washington Community Center. Refreshment and prizes will be provided. San Francisco OEWD is hosting community virtual budget discussions on Wednesday, January 24th and 25th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. to discuss economic development programs and resources. Please RSVP for this event. CASC is hosting a job fair on Thursday, January 25th from 11 to 1 p.m. Build your future with the APRI Construction Training Program and gain an OSHA 10 certification and immediate job support. January APRI construction training dates are Monday, January 22nd through the 26th. Please sign up below. OMI Cultural Participation Project will present The Wiz on Saturday, January 27th at 7:30 p.m. at the Golden Gate Theater. See the link below. San Francisco Rec and Park presents City Job Fair 2024, January 27th at 10 to 1 p.m. at Hamilton Recreation Center. New Beginnings is hosting the Community Festival on Saturday, January 27th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Kirkwood Early Learning Center. Still need your real ID? OMI Cultural Participation Project and partners with in serving SFD11 with drop-in appointments for the 94112 and the 94132 residents only on Wednesdays, January 17th through the 31st from the 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Casa de Apoyo. Must bring proof of residency. Five Keys Schools and Programs is offering the Tech Support Access Program throughout the month of January at the Southeast Community Center. The African American Arts and Culture Complex invites you to the Season of Black Art inaugural event, introducing from October of last year until February of this year, seasons at the AAACC, kicking off a captivating celebration of Black creativity and culture with special guests and performers. For more information, please see the register link below. Dreaming Forward, Black to San Francisco is a day-long conference that is open to the public and will celebrate DKI's accomplishments and look ahead to future success on Thursday, February 1st from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the War Memorial Veterans Building. The African American Cultural Heritage Action Fund is accepting grant applications. The deadline for submission is February 1st. Black to San Francisco, an evening celebration will be held on Friday, February 2nd from 5 to 8 p.m. at City Hall, North Light Court. All are welcome as we gather to honor the HBCU alumni and Divine Nine members. Into Action presents Equity Keys Series, a housing resource fair on Saturday, February 3rd from 11:30 to 2:30 p.m. at the Geneva Powerhouse. San Francisco Rec and Park presents City Job Fairs 2024 on February 3rd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the County Fair Building. SFOEWD will host a community virtual budget discussion on Tuesday, February 6th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. to discuss the Economic Development Program and resources. Please RSVP for this event. Black Star Rising Freedom Academy is accepting registration for SFUSD 8th grade students only for Saturday STEM and culturally relevant engineering concept programs on Saturday, February 17th through April 20th from 10 a.m. to noon at SFUSD's iLab. Deadline to register is February 7th. Save the date. San Francisco Water Power Sewer SECC and San Francisco OEWD invite you to celebrate Black History Month with us, February 8th from 6 to 9 at the Southeast Community Center. San Francisco Brown Bombers host the 2023 Awards Banquet to celebrate 24 years of excellence on Friday, February 9th from 6 to 8 p.m. at St. Mary's Cathedral 2023. Rostered participants and 2 parents may attend for a free $10 for any additional guest. Save the date for Quiche Cares' 3rd annual Give Back Day. Hey, Quiche girl. February 10th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. with a location to be announced. Register for resources and volunteering. African American Achievement and Leadership Initiative hosts the annual Board of Education presentation on February 13th at 6:30 p.m. The presentation will center the experiences of Black students, their families, and Black educators in SFUSD. Arrival by 6 p.m. is suggested, and in-person public comment is greatly needed and appreciated. The San Francisco Alliance of Black School Educators presents the annual African American Honor Roll celebration on February 16th, 5:30 p.m. at the Chase Center. Mr. Predictor Live and Unplugged presents the 30th anniversary of celebration with Selsky, aka Two Took, and special guests on February 22nd at the Brick and Mortar. Tickets are $30 online, $250 for VIP tables, includes 4 drink tickets. Third Parent, Family, and Youth Services will host the Financial Literacy Workshop series on Friday, February 23rd from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Google Community Space. This is a free event and is for high school students. The YMCA and DKI invites you to the Black History Parade and Community Party on February 24th. The parade starts at 11 a.m. from the Bayview Opera House and it ends at the Southeast Community Center. The community party starts at 1:30 p.m. at the Southeast Community Center. Food, entertainment, kids zone, and so much more will be offered. Save the date. Author and outdoor Afro founder will present Trailside Talk, Nature Swagger with Rue Mack on February 24th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Echo Center at the Hiram Park. Into Action announces the Black Culture Preservation Mini Grant Cycle 3, opening on January 25th and closing on February 26th. From March 1st through May 31st, you can get up to $9,500 in funding for Black cultural preservation events in the Tenderloin, Lakeview, Sunnydale, Visitation Valley, OMI. To apply, please see the links below. New Doors 6 months paid internship, supportive services, skill building workshops, $19.44 an hour. Next cohort is February 27th, weekly training Tuesday and Thursday from 1 to 4 p.m. Legacy African American Support Group is a safe space for African American caregivers to discuss relevant topics of life challenges. Every Wednesday from January 24th to February 29th from 6 to 8 p.m. via Zoom. Gift cards and certificates will be given. 5 Key School and Programs will host the Introduction to Google Workspace Workshop Series on Tuesdays, February 6th through March 5th, and Thursdays, March 7th at the Southeast Community Center. Mornings and afternoons are available. Because Black is Still Beautiful and Stand in Peace will host the Harriet Tubman Day Brunch and Underground Shiro ceremony on Sunday, March 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Southeast Community Center. Come out for Estate Planning 101 with Housing and Economic Rights Advocates, HERA, on the second Thursday of each month from February 8th through June 13th, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. at the Booker T. Washington Community Center. Registration is required. SECC invites you to join us at the Hungry Cafe from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. for the co-working eatery and social space with delicious bites and local coffee at the Southeast Community Center. San Francisco OEWD and Renaissance Entrepreneurship Center are offering business support services for small business entrepreneurs in Bayview and Fillmore, San Francisco. Dream Team announces buy, sell, trade, size swap, and co-signment. All sneakers here are sold below market rate. Minding Our Black-Owned Business initiative powered by BWOPA Tile honors outstanding Black women entrepreneurs who embody the spirit of cooperative economics. Nominate your favorite Black woman-owned business. DKI announces the Senior Home Repair Program with up to $50,000 forgivable loan to low to moderate income senior and or disabled homeowners residing in the historical distressed and underserved neighborhoods in San Francisco. San Francisco Human Rights Commission has regular bi-monthly commission meetings on the second and fourth Thursday of each month at 5 p.m. in the San Francisco City Hall Room 416. You can also attend via Zoom. Fathers to Founders hosts child support clinics every Tuesday and Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 232 6th Street. Receive essential guidance on child support, debt reduction, resolving driver's license holds, pursuing custody of your children, and establishing visitation rights. For clinic appointments, please call the number below. Dreamkeeper announces the down payment assistance loan program. You could receive up to $500,000 for down payment assistance, up to $30,000 for closing costs, and connect with housing counselors, lenders, and realtors. For more information, please see the link below. Walters Wellness Group invites you to Sip and Paint Center every first and third and fifth Friday, where you can unwind and set the tone for your weekend. Fueled by tea, creativity, and grounding. Hosted by Dr. Kathia Walters and the Walters Wellness Group. Join Fathers to Founders for Fatherhood Reimagined Therapy group sessions, held every Tuesday night from 6 to 7:30 p.m. ongoing, beginning from last year's October 24th at 232 6th Street in San Francisco. There will be food served at each session. For more information, please see the link below. APRI is hosting the Youth Workshop, offering job referrals, resume building, skill building, internship, professional networking, and community service hours at 1301 Evans Avenue in San Francisco. To schedule a Zoom or phone appointment, please see the link below. Come out to Fillmore's Friday Night Market every Friday from 4 to 9 on O'Farrell Street between Fillmore and Steiner for live music, barbecue, soul food, frozen desserts, retail vendors, games for kids, dominoes tournament, prizes, and entertainment. Vendor booths are available. The new vaccination site offers the COVID-19 booster and monkeypox antiviral pill treatment Thursdays 1 through 5 at 330 Ellis Street, as well as Saturdays 12 to 4 p.m. at 1221 Mission Street. The community living room open all day, Monday through Friday, breakfast 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and grab and go lunch 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. City of Hope Cafe, 750 Ellis Street in San Francisco. The San Francisco Office of Financial Empowerment announces Smart Money Coaching, which provides free confidential 101 financial guidance. The program is available to anyone living, working, or receiving services in San Francisco in English and Spanish, with additional translation services as requested. The Bayview Collective, BSOT, and BSOTC are calling all Bayview community members to help shape the future of our community together. The Bayview Collective is conducting a survey to tap into the heart of our district, you. Your insights will directly influence the initiatives we undertake to enhance the quality of life in our vibrant community. Take the survey at the link below. Be a mentor in San Francisco Unified School District. Join SFUSD's school-based mentoring program, Mentoring for Success. Sign up to volunteer as an individual or group mentor district-wide. BSOTC is calling on conscious individuals and organizations to sponsor our third annual African American History Bowling event and award ceremony. The award ceremony will be held February 24th, 6 to 8 p.m., and the bowling event will be hosted February 25th from 2 to 5 p.m. For more information on sponsorship, please see our links below. BSOTC needs your skill and ability to engage the youth. We are looking for community members to participate in basketball, recreational activities, and mentor youth on Saturdays at the San Francisco Juvenile Detention Center. Stipends will be paid. Would you like to promote your business, nonprofit, or community impact? Sign up for our Hidden Gem show. Share your expertise on our Educational Thursday, or be a panelist on Sunday's conversation. Keep up with both sides of the conversation's latest shows, community outreach events. Follow us on all social media platforms. You can also subscribe to our newsletter at bsotc.org. BSOTC welcomes individuals who are interested in giving back to their community to join us as volunteers. We value the positive impact volunteers can make and invite you to be a part of our mission to uplift and support our community. BSOTC kindly requests your invaluable support for our podcast and community engagement endeavors. We cordially invite you to explore any of our donation links, as your generous contributions will greatly aid us in enhancing our programming. We would like to take this time to acknowledge the Dreamkeeper Initiative and its support for BSOTC's programming. The Dreamkeeper Initiative amplifies the voices of and invests in San Francisco's diverse Black communities to reform public safety and addresses structural inequities in San Francisco. This Tuesday, January 23rd, join us for our Hidden Gem. Be sure to hit those links, you guys, to sign up for our Educational Thursday, as well as our Sunday conversation. Thank you.
I know that's a lot. Go ahead and drink some water. I'm sorry, community. It takes a little time to get through the announcements and events for folks out there in the community. I know it's working. Okay. I had some people coming to me at an event saying, "Oh my God, I didn't know about this till I heard it. I was watching your live." So again, our job is we're trying to get the information, the events. I know it's a little long. People be like, it's a lot. But just be patient, community. We're talking about self-care today. Patience is part of self-care. All right. With that being said, we're about to get into it now. Mark, go ahead. Read this. Bring up Brother Bibbs today to come support us.
Absolutely, will do. The self-care movement has been set up with the sole intention of showing people the benefits of self-care. It is open to anyone who has found themselves struggling or overwhelmed with looking after everyone else and never taking time for themselves. Self-care is the ability of individuals, families, and communities to promote health, prevent disease, maintain health, and cope with illness and disability with or without the support of a health worker. A recent study found that 73% of people are more conscious that they need more self-care. What's even better is that 69% of those people plan to add more self-care to their life in the next year. Knowing that you need something and then planning to do it is a great way to get started. A research study from Vigaro found that 75% of Americans believe that self-care activities provide stress relief. And a study found that 64% of the people saw a self-confidence boost, and while 67% saw increased productivity, and 71% saw an increase in happiness. Studies have found that we simply don't have enough time to relax, and unfortunately, adults in the U.S. only feel relaxed for 40 minutes per day, with 47% claiming they get less than that, and only 6.6% of people engage in health and well-being self-care every day. Those are the stats.
Wow. I mean, the thing is this, Mark. All I got to do is just blow up the spot on that one because I'm telling you, I'm only getting 2 hours of sleep, okay? You just told me what my problem is. I know now. That's what it is. Self-care is important. I don't even know how I get self-care. I'm so selfless and I'm so focused and driven. I don't know. I guess today conversation is needed. Well, with that being said, I don't know. Our other guests ain't here. They stuck in Tahoe in the snow. They Teslas won't move. I don't know. But we got my brother, Dexter Bibbs. He's back. The winemaker, the pastor that's doing all the main things. I got my bottle. See, he can't come back and lie. Oh, yeah, we support our Black businesses here on this platform, but we are glad you was able to make it today and have this conversation with so many days off the air. I'm like, even with the other people not being here, hey, the brother is here, man. The black winemaker. Maybe I need my black wine today. Maybe that's my self-care. Let me drink some of that wine. I don't know. What's up, brother? Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. And we're going to kick off today's conversation about this self-care and see what you think about this. How important it is, you pastor, and how important it is to the people.
My name is Dexter. I'm an owner of Dab Wine and also an author of Against All Odds, which is on Amazon. And I am a ordained pastor. So yeah, I do like marriage counseling and self-counseling. And once again, my book is about overcoming obstacles and motivational for young men, mainly to how they overcome obstacles and how they can find themselves spiritually.
Wow, that's pretty deep. I was gonna say we got to get you back on our relationship conversation. I think it's coming up in February. Okay, it's getting close.
Yeah.
We need to talk about relationships because we know that's the hottest topic in America. Black crisis, Black love, all the love in America right now is in jeopardy. Okay, so we need to talk about it since you one of those therapists. You can talk about some of the things that work and don't work. But when we talk about today's conversation, self-care, I want to kick this off because in this ever growing and evolving country that we are in, self-care is something that's not prioritized, from, a corporation standpoint, from a family standpoint. A lot of times when we think about self-care, one of the things is how do I get it? What does it look like? Every day I'm busy. And I think this is why people are so drained, so burnt out mentally. We know when you don't get the right amount of hours of sleep, mentally it can cause an effect on you with exhaustion and things of that nature. But self-care, as it stands for itself, when we talk about wellness, holistic wellness, and what it looks like, for you, Dexter, and for the rest of the folks on the team here that's talking about this. You know, how does one find, you know, that time for self-care? Like, how do we create that time for that nap or that break? How do we create that? How do you feel about that? And how do you do yours, D?
For me, it's mainly knowing to set boundaries, knowing to say, you know, when it's enough. You know what I mean? Like, we tend to, as human beings, to give out a lot but not put in for ourselves, because we're always, you know, well, I know for myself and I know for my colleagues that I surround myself with, we tend to give out a lot and we forget to take time to put in for ourselves. So you have to know sometimes when to say no, when to say, okay, like I'm a little bit drained, and it's okay to be drained, and actually take time for ourselves.
But D, you are ordained pastor. I'm the bishop. I'm not ordained. I keep telling you, I'm not an ordained bishop, okay? But you know, this work that we do, you know, when we think about civil service, when we think about nonprofits, when we think about community work, we're talking about giving a lot to people who are dealing with trauma. People are going through things. This work that we do, that God called us to do, is to serve people. You know, the hardest thing, you know, how do you do it? Because I know for me, it's hard to tell people no. I got a problem with that, right? Trying to set boundaries to say no, it's hard, because the minute you say no, and then you got to deal with all that comes with that no, right? Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. You just like everybody else. You don't return people phone calls. Like, you start getting beat up, and it starts to weigh on you. But, you know, at some point you have to put things in place. But being a pastor, right? You're the leader. Folks call you for all kind of needs when it's grief, death, sickness, you know, folks going through relationship stuff. People are looking for someone to lean into. You know, how do you deal that? You got people in the community, people inside the house of the Lord, all these different people pulling at you like, I need you. You got the winery, your employees, you got people, you got to make sure this is right. You're doing all of this stuff. Like, how do you say no? And what does that look like?
I really don't say no, to be honest, you know, because it's not in me. But, you know, I also know how to take time for myself. You know what I mean? Like, you have to take time for yourself. It's a given, because how can you put out the best advice or put out the best productivity if you yourself isn't right mentally? So you have to take the proper channels to make sure that self-care is inaudible. So I can be on a vacation, but I can still help somebody. You know, that I can still take the time. What's 20 minutes or what's an hour to help somebody that is calling me, that's going through a life crisis at that moment? You know, that ain't gonna hurt me. I'm still on vacation. I could still go right back to vacation. So that's how I tend to do things. And, you know, if people call me at the odd hours of the night, I mean, it's not going to interrupt me to get out my sleep to handle something, because God is going to bless you in the long run. It may not be right then or right now, but it's going to come.
So with that, you saying you never say no. I myself have been a person who very rarely will say no. I've recently learned that boundaries include identifying energy vampires, those who fall in love with your hand, who are just used to give, right? How do you, as a pastor and personally, differentiate between those who are just takers and want you for what you are able to do for them, and making sure that you are respecting and valuing your own boundaries when it comes to that?
For me, usually I get a feeling. You would know, you know what I mean? Because God would talk to you. So you would definitely know when a person is taking advantage of a situation, or a person is taking advantage because you're there at that moment. And you can easily just tell them like, hey, you know, this isn't the proper time right now. Or, you know, you have people that you can pass them off to, or give them the proper resources. That's what I tend to do, is like give people the proper resources. If I can't help them, I tend to give them the proper resources and to see if they're going to do the work themselves. If they're not going to do the work themselves, then you can gracefully tell them like, okay, well, I gave you these resources. Did you reach out to these people? Did you reach out to the therapist like I told you to? Or did you reach out to Deacon so-and-so? Or did you reach out to Bishop so-and-so? And if they ain't did that, then it's like, okay, how do you expect me to help you if you ain't willing to help yourself? Help me help you. And that's always my slogan. So you can drop little gems here and there to see if they're willing to help themselves. And if they're not willing to help themselves, how can you help somebody that's not willing to help themselves?
I think you hit it right on the head right there, man of God. And again, I appreciate your insights and your wisdom and your humility, because you ain't even mentioned he's a Super Bowl champion. Like this brother here is a football star too. So he's got a lot of experience with taking care of himself, but also helping other people manage relationships and experiences. But one of the stories I remember that my father told me about taking care of yourself, because again, just like you're in the airplane, they tell you in the event of an emergency, if the mask fall down, as a parent, we want to take care of our kids first, your significant other, but they say, no, put your mask on first. Why? Because if you're not good, even with the best of intention and noble thoughts and noble intentions, if you give out all of your resources, what happens when you run out to the people that you're serving? There's nothing left, and you haven't prepared them, equipped them, or given them the tools that they need, or they're not in position to sustain themselves. So eventually, by you not making the time to manage yourself, you actually have a domino effect of actually damaging the people that depend on you. So it's critical. We have to make time to take care of ourselves first and foremost, because how we do anything is how we do everything.
Well, I want to say this because I heard Io said, and I think Dexter, you talked about, therapists. We have a crisis right now in the Black community with mental health, right? Access to providers it's like null and void. It's not even there. I got people reaching out to me all day. Hey, where is the therapist at? When we talk about self-care, we talk about mental health, wellness, what needs to happen in our community. When you talk about all of the PTSD, all of the trauma that we experience in our community, getting access to a good provider is just it's not there, right? So when we start talking about this self-care, holistic care for ourselves, we have folks like you, we have folks like Mark Io that talk about the things that they do to implement self-care. But a lot of times in the community, when we talk about healing, we talk about doing this internal work and all of this stuff, we don't really name what that looks like, right? And I think that's why it's so important that we name, like, when we talk about these conversations, like, what does this look like? So a person who may not have access to a professional, right, but they have access to what we're talking about, how do we help them to say, hey, this is what you could do. Here goes some of the coping skills you could use. Here goes some of the breathing techniques you could do. And I think when people put it and present it in that way, we get more effective in the community. But we're turning a curve in this country where we have to address this mental health issue. I mean, it's real. People are suffering more now with anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts more than ever. All right. Whatever happened after COVID, people want to blame the vaccination, all this stuff. All I know is people mindset is not where it needs to be. And we don't have access to those resources. And then how do we get our community leadership, our spiritual groups, to get online with some of the curriculum that is used at a professional realm to bring that to our community in a way that's impactful to us?
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, I'll just say, Bishop, as far as like us as a community, the widespread awareness of the mental health challenges is honestly, it's the natural byproduct of the level of corruption we see in our society. Think about if there's anywhere in our society, whether you look at our political leadership, you look in education, you look at corporations, you look at entertainment. Everywhere we turn, we know in our society that we can't trust or believe most of what we see and hear. We like literally now, because of technology and AI, we are literally having to fight to distinguish what's real and what's generated by computers, and we're being manipulated through multiple levels of reality. So with all this confusion going on, then you got war, then you add the pressure of the economic situation that most people are facing and the health challenges. We shouldn't be surprised that this many people are struggling to hold on. And it seems like everything that's happening is almost intentional. So we have to be as proactive and more intentional about taking care of ourselves now. And that's what we're doing. And sometimes, again, you may not have access to a professional, but this is what big brothers are for, uncles are for, auntie are for, grandparents are for. We still have to believe in ourselves, because there is something in us, just like on the physical. If you give your body the right nutrition and the right environment, your body is designed to heal itself. You ain't always got to take some chemical medications or cut on it. The body will actually fix itself. The same thing, the way healthy community is. If we build healthy connections and create the right environment, we can begin to self-heal ourselves.
Well, I think, one of the things, Dexter, before you go, is we talk about food all the time. When you talk about self-care, the food that we have, I mean, the amount of side effects and things that is impacting us with our food, I don't know how we get around it in our community. When you look at self-care, part of what you eat, what you absorb in your body, the rest, foods not giving you the capability to rest because the additives that's in there keep kids up, get them hyper. You know, it's a conscious mindset that we have to have 24/7. And if we don't have the right information or access to understand how to regulate this is why I'm always calling out all of my nutritionists out there. Come on, both sides, teach the community how to eat. Because even in these food deserts, even in these food apartheids in our community, there's still an opportunity to find a way to cook food that's healthier, more beneficial to our mental health, more beneficial to what we're doing day to day. I mean, I'm so scared for the people, because when you look at the commercials, these drugs that they're advertising every second, there's a commercial about this pill, this drug, and then you listen to the side effects. Oh, it's scary. Oh, this could cause you suicidal thoughts. This could keep, lose your sleep. I mean, this stuff is scary. And I don't know how much our community is paying attention. This is what's being programmed into us, right? And these are the very things that we're being diagnosed with, because we're the most despaired community when it comes to health as a whole. You talk about what's going on. I mean, this is some scary stuff, brother.
I agree with you, but where it's going to come down to is pretty much back to the basics, where you're growing your own foods. We're doing things that we love, as far as like self-care. That could be working out, that could be writing poetry, that could be talking on the phone to a loved one, cooking some of the things we love. I know when I was going through mental health myself, before I even found myself, I had bad eating habits. And that was one of my coping mechanisms, was eating. And then next, I gained a lot of weight, and I was down on myself. And so I started taking the time to start doing the things that I love. That's when I start taking the time to do the things that I love. That's when I start finding myself as an individual. And then when I start finding myself as an individual, that's when I was able to reach out and start helping out individuals themselves on finding themselves. But first, you have to know who you are as an individual, and you have to know what is toxic and what is not toxic, and cut off the toxic, because it's like a cancer. You can't help somebody if you sick yourself, because that's just going to pass on to the person you're talking to. And I believe in spirituality and passing that evil enemy on to the next person. So if you yourself isn't right and you're not right mentally, you can't help somebody that is going through a mental state, or have bad eating habits or anything in that sort. So you have to be correct. And one of the things that I did was find myself and start doing things that I love.
I just want to piggyback off what you said. Something as a tool that I learned in therapy myself is called glimmers. We hear the word triggers so often, and those are things that we look out for, right? Like, watch out for your triggers, watch out for your triggers. Then we condition our minds to only looking out for triggers, right? But glimmers are things that give you that glee, right? That instantaneous feeling of bliss, right? That euphoric feeling that you don't even know, like when your endorphins kick in after having a great workout, you just feel happy for some reason. Like, you know, you go from 0 to 100, no energy shots needed, right? So I would say something that worked for me as a tool is finding those glimmers, right? Those things that I really enjoy doing. Cooking is a passion of mine. I am so happy when I'm cooking for somebody else, right? I rarely eat the food after I've cooked a big meal, but to see that look on those faces after somebody's had my meals. I do meal prep for people. So after getting those great, consultations and somebody calling me saying, oh my God, like your food, I can feel the love in your food. You know, that's a glimmer for me. Me making sure that I stop, I have my silence, I have my stillness for myself. I have to make sure that I regulate myself. That way, I'm pouring from a full cup, right? You can only do so much if you're half empty and you continuously pour, then there's no more there. So I look for those glimmers that give me that instantaneous feeling in that moment, that bliss. What is it that's going to help me, right? What's going to help me get through this next thing? And I try to pour those things and try to reassure people about those things. Like, you know, a saying of mine is turn all negative energy into positive doings. I try to find a positive in everything. I am the go-to person for a lot of my friends to pour on, but I say it's okay because I have the capacity, because I release it to a higher power. I release it to God. You can pour into me, right? But it doesn't mean that I'm going to keep it with me. Now, we're going to limit those times that you can come to me with the same issue. However, once we find our solution, we're going to work on it. And that gives people a little bit more hope, and it gives them a new glimmer to look forward to.
I got to say this. I'm going to ask all you guys this because, you know, Dexter, you said something, and I ask young people this all the time. You said you have to know who you are. And I hear a lot of mentors and people say that to kids, and I'm saying, what does that look like? You know what I mean? Because when you ask the kid, who are you? You right? And they're trying to define who they are. Sometimes they have a challenge with that, but I hear a lot of mentors and folks say that, oh yeah, kids, you got to find who you are, find out who you are. What does that look like? How do they find it? How do they know who they actually are? What are they stepping in? What does that look like to y'all? I'm just asking. I'm asking the question and you don't have to answer it, but I'm asking that question because people pose this to kids all the time. Who are you? I hear people say to kids, who are you? How do we, articulate that to our kids so where they can have a placeholder to say, this is who I am, right? I'm a fun-loving person. I'm secure in my manhood or whatever it is. I'm we have to also like name these things. I'm only saying it because I hear this a lot. People always asking kids, who are you? Tell me who you are. These kids like, oh, I'm me. So what does that look like to y'all?
Well, for me, I don't ask kids who are they because they don't know who they are themselves. They're growing up. They haven't even lived life yet, to know who they are. And to know who you are, you have to go through trials and tribulations, and also with the proper channels of having people good support systems to help you navigate on who you are and navigate which is the right way, and not to say, hey, go this way, and next around the corner it's about 4 gang members waiting on you, to come join, instead of saying, hey, navigate right here to this library where you congregating with people of knowledge and you're educating yourself. So when it comes to little kids, it's not about who you are, it's about finding who you are. And that's the difference, if I'm going to talk to a kid, I'm gonna help them navigate and find out who they are and help them find out on who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Like you said, it's what you're interested in, right? I believe your purpose is a part of the passion, right? What it is that you enjoy doing, right? So for my son, I'll use him as an example. He loves sports, right? No matter what It is. He loves sports. He is an athlete all around, skateboarding, wrestling, football, basketball, all around. He loves it. He's found a new passion in music. Now, I asked him, you know, the odds are against you. I'm going to never dim my baby's light. However, he's 5 foot, 16 years old. Statistics say you're not going to make it in the league, right? Okay. May not be the strongest lyricist. No worries. But if these are your passions, this is what we're going to pour into, because this is how you try to find your identity in the things that you find that glimmer in, right? So for my son, I gave him these options. Okay, let's say you make all state, right? Get a great scholarship, you go to college. You may not get drafted. What are our options? You love sports. We got physical trainers. We got agents. We got managers. You are still enveloped in what it is you have a passion in, and you will find your identity upon that course because your purpose is in that passion, right? Music, you may not be the strongest lyricist. That's fine. But being in the engineering part, being around the production part, he got the opportunity last summer to do an internship at a program where he learned how to do the engineering and production. Loved it. My dad got him a whole studio. Now that's what he's doing. He's finding who he is in his passion. I say for our children, that is the best way to help them navigate. We can't tell them who they are. We can't put them in a position to say, this is what you need to do. I did this, so this is who you need to be. Not at all. Let them find their way. But it's for us to fuel that passion. Let me give you that fuel. Let me be that motivational force for you to make sure that you got your way.
I got to push back. I got to push back a little bit, sis. I got to push back a little bit. And it's in love, because here's the deal. While there is an individualistic spirit in every human being, every child that you don't want to crush, as a child, there has to be some perspective and context given to them in life. And this is why the technology of naming is so important. As a child, you have a mother and a father who give you your initial identity. Then you have your family, then you have your community, then you have your nation or nationality. All these parts come into identifying who you are. But when it comes to dealing with self, there needs to be a triangulation between two essential things. One, everybody's born with a gift, a skill. There's something that you are really, really good at, like naturally, and it can be developed, it can be trained, it can be honed. Then there's also going to be things that's something that you are radically passionate about. There are some things that you'll do even for no money. If nobody push you, if nobody asks you, you'll go to the library and research these things on your own. And when you can find the intersection between what you are passionate about and what you're good at and find that connection, that's usually where you find your purpose, and that's where you find your true self at.
Shots fired. Mark, push it back early. I guess this is the point where the show gets heated. Oh, I don't know.
Well, I mean, think about it. If you just let kids do what they quote unquote want to do, they wouldn't do nothing but eat junk food, candy, and all that kind of stuff and play video games. Like, we have to say, no, you gonna do this. You have to do this. Why? Because our job is to prepare them to be able to deal with the world outside of themselves, as well as be able to navigate, manage, and know who they are for themselves.
But I
would say not giving them free range. No, not of course. I'm going to make sure that you are doing something productive, of course. So when I say I want to pour into my son's passion, what do we need to do? What books are we reading? How am I going to get you in these spaces, in these rooms, so we can pour into that passion? It's not whatever you want to do, that's your purpose. No, I don't want to get up every day. No, but I have been afforded the ability to do something that I love every day in every job that I hold, even here as a volunteer. I am the person that people pour into. I am the speaker. I am the person that has the capacity to be who I am. But in every job that I hold, I am a servant. I'm a humble servant of God. And that is my passion, to serve. Not to say that I want to get up and do it every day. No, but I find glee, I find joy in it because I got my bliss back. For my son, he loves sports. He loves sports in every fashion. But I'm going to make sure you're going to educate yourself. Okay, what are we going to do? He loves math. Let's look up how much an agent makes opposed to a player.
And see, you use that wisdom perfectly with your son, because you're like, look, baby, I know you like sports, but you 5-something. So let's be real. You're going to have to have some other skills. Right? You can still be in the industry involved, but like I said, you might not be on the bench, you know, getting ready to go into the game. You might be in the business office and the management, something else, but you understood that balance. So you didn't give him this wild idea. Like, I mean, again, I love my people. But we got too many young folks that are still trying to be rappers. We need mechanics. We need people who gonna fix stuff and build stuff. We don't need another mixtape, brothers. I'm just sorry. Like, I'm just saying, we got enough rappers for the community. Can we get some politicians? I'm just saying, I love my people.
Well, I'm gonna say for me, who am I? I'm a developer. I am a concrete. I am a cement masoner. I am a leader. I'm a provider. I'm a protector. I'm the bishop, y'all. That's what I'm doing. I know. Go ahead, brother Dexter. I know you trying to
and ladies only fans is not a career move either.
Hey, it depends on what you use it for.
Oh,
because you can use OnlyFans and don't have to use it on a sexual tip. You can use OnlyFans just as being a pastor.
I respect that, brother. It
I don't know what OnlyFans you've been watching, Dexter. All the ones I know making millions of dollars.
I agree.
That's why you change the game. You change the game. You be different. You step outside the box of what everybody else is doing. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. I'm sorry, but I just can't resist. Is there gonna be like a power bottom OnlyFans? Like it's some stuff that go on that's associated with that platform. I thought the distinction in being separate would probably, I mean, I know we trying to be, you know, current and up to date, but I don't know if we want to be, you know.
Hey,
Mark, you blowing up the spot, Mark.
I'm just saying, so, you know, it's somebody else, you know.
That could be their form of self-care, Mark.
Power bottom, really?
No, my show just went left. Why are y'all doing this to me on a Sunday? Stop it. Brother Dexter, but go ahead. I know you just wanted to say something.
Man, one thing I want to say is okay, so for instance, like my dad instilled into me, football was never my passion when I was younger. Never. I hated football. I didn't like to get dirty. I didn't want to get muddy. I was too clean. Like hoops was my thing. But how do you feel about with the parents that try to push their dream onto their kids? You know what I mean? Because that ain't healthy. That's not health for a kid mentally. Like I hated to do football, but my dad always put me in football. Like I had to play football, and I was like, nah, man, this ain't
it. And who's a Super Bowl champion now? So I'm just saying, I understand personally. A lot of us have pushed back against what our parents wanted us to do. But if we let our lives play out and we look at the results of the foundation of what we got from those forced experiences, we appreciate them later on. Children don't have the wisdom to know what forethought is, so they don't understand why I'm forcing you to do dishes now, why I'm forcing you to learn how to change a tire now, why I'm forcing you to get up and make your bed every morning, why I'm gonna force you to get up and be on time to get to school. Why? Because these are habits you're gonna need to survive in life when I ain't around. So some things, yes, we do have to force our children to do for their benefit. And you ain't like football, but look at you now, bro. I mean, come on now. You how many defensive MVPs you got?
4. I got 4.
And see, because your father made you do something that you didn't love, but you've benefited greatly from it. So
Mm,
you have your father to thank for that. And,
true.
and it's just one of those truths. Now, again, it does go to the extreme. Again, we have parents that are prostituting their children for their own agendas and sakes without thinking of the child's well-being. So
Mm.
that is an issue that, yes, it has to be managed, but as parents, we are responsible for giving our children direction and some structure to life.
And Mark, I think it goes a little beyond the parents. I'm talking about the coaches too. Sometimes you go out there, you see these coaches, and they're like, going nuts, because they want to win, right? And it's like, that's one thing I appreciate about Nate. He's always teaching the young people, win or lose, teaching about team sport, teaching about, how to handle themselves in the past. And, it's like, we have those with our leaders, our mentors, and this is where we have to correct his behavior because the adults is the one who influence the young people, and we want to make sure that they are getting the right information. Right? I want a kid who want to do what he want to do. It comes with training. It comes with demonstrating what's possible. You have to show them. Right? I always say, to lead the community, you got to feed the community with food, education, information. This is why I say these things because that's how you have to feed these young people.
No,
And one
I
thing,
agree. I agree with you, Bishop. But also think about sports in general. It's a teaching platform. It's a microcosm of life. Some people are gonna play fair. Some people are gonna play dirty. Some people gonna play by the rules. Some people gonna bend the rules. Some people gonna have great attitude. Some people gonna be horrible. And you are going to have bosses. You're gonna have coworkers. You're gonna have people randomly in life that are gonna have these. So learning how to deal with defeat, learning how to deal with bad teammates, learning how to deal with irate coaches. These are all teaching opportunities if we can utilize them. But I think one of the issues, I think we've tried to create this bubble where nothing bad ever happens to children. Like we don't let them deal with any adversity, or we don't teach them how to overcome it properly. Because I didn't see, again, a coach is supposed to be tough on you. He ain't supposed to baby you. He's supposed to teach you how to, deal with stuff on the field. So if he get in your face a little bit, you can't come running out the stands talking about don't be yelling at my kid. Then how can the coach effectively coach?
but I think I agree with you. But it's how we correct the kids, right? We have to correct them. It's a way we have to do it. And some kids will receive that difficult conversation, that hostile conversation. Some kids won't, right? And that's why it's all about how you connect before you correct. See, that's the
Absolutely.
biggest thing. How you connect with the kids before you correct the kids makes all the difference. That interaction is totally different when you have that connection. So maybe me and you, we know we can talk to each other this, but we might have some little, little crybaby over here. We can't do that to them, right? So that's where we as adults have to be able to have a good perspective of how we correct and understanding, who we're dealing with and having that level of interaction and understanding so that it is a positive outcome, right? Because I don't want to lose 5 kids because the coach is yelling at them and they can't handle it, right? We just lost 5 kids who had an opportunity to develop into what they're trying to do and how they're trying to move in life, right? So those interactions are very important how we deal with kids. We have to be a little reserved and we have to pay attention and be intentional on how we interact with certain kids. I can look at some kids, I know this the aggressor, I can come at him a little bit because he already think he tough, right? I have a kid who kind of like, I ain't trying to be too aggressive, but I'm assertive enough to like, I don't want to be messed with, right? So I think it's just on all levels, even in the workplace, even in the community, you have to deal with people, man. It's so hard. People are just all over the place. And that's why, today's conversation about self-care is important because we do have people walking around with that enemy spirit, walking around with that satanic spirit. We have people walking around out of their minds. We have people who are on substance abuse. How do we get them care? How do we get the care for the people who care for those people? Because in the community, when you do this work, we don't get cared on. We don't get that treatment, right? We just supposed to go and respond after crisis after crisis after crisis.
I mean, well, we have to have some wisdom too. Again, like Brother Dexter said, you can't help somebody that's not willing to or ready to help themselves. And there are a lot of people that we want to help, but if they're still involved in self-destructive behavior, all the self-care opportunity we try to give, I mean, they'll sink us and bring us down trying to help them. So we do have to have some type of wisdom and boundaries. Like we can't save everybody, especially if everybody ain't trying to come along or ain't ready.
Yeah, you got some people out here that just nuts. No matter what you do to help them, they just nuts, right? And we got to figure out how to help these people. And I know people going to say, John Henry, don't say nuts. That's not clinical. I'm not a clinician, okay? I'm just calling it what it is. But, we have to work with people. But sometimes people need that sound. But now, just turning this back, I'm thinking about this conversation. This is why these conversations are so important. Because I'm thinking about myself, right? I go. Sometimes I don't take care of myself, right? And I don't have that accountability partner sometimes to say, hey, you need to take the rest. And maybe I do get the accountability partner. How do I find in all of the busy things that I'm doing to say, you know what, let me just take 45 minutes. I swear sometimes that 45 minutes turn into all night. You can't even sleep.
Well, you gonna need somebody that you trust and respect enough that you'll listen to, because as a visionary, you have a martyr complex because you care so much about the people. Like, it hurts you when you can't help people more than you already do. So you will literally pour out your very last, not even thinking about yourself. So you need somebody that can pull your string and check you and stop you, even when you're doing good things, so to make sure you take care of yourself.
Man, that's real.
I got something to that, man. I mean, I'm gonna help you out on this one, Bishop. You got good people around you at this moment right now, sitting at the table. So at any given time, I'm pretty sure you can say, "Hey, I need a break. Hey, I need to step away for a minute." You got good support around you. You just ain't noticed it, or you noticed it and just ain't utilized it. And that's the thing. You got to know when you have key support around you. You got key support around you right at this moment, and you looking dead at them. So you can use them at any time, at any given time when you need a break.
I think I need a break right now. Community, I said good night now. No, but I think, part of my self-care, I'm sorry, people like, you are a nut. See, I'm a nut too. I need help too. But, it is great. And don't get it twisted. I have a phenomenal team. We are a small but mighty team. But sometimes the self-care for me looks like doing this work, having 2 shows canceled this week, right? Instead of me saying, hey, don't worry, I'm trying to get the next guest, because sometimes this is my healing. This is my self-care. When I'm talking to my people, because I know my people watch me because they tag me blowing me up right now. You silly, right? So I know they paying attention to me. But sometimes this work is our self-care, because outside of this, sometimes there's so much stuff going on that you have to stay connected to what you're doing for your self-care, because it's so easy to get lost into stuff that's not important, not impactful, right? I wake up sometimes in the middle of the night, I'm trying to figure out the next thing because I see what my community is going through, right? I see the attacks. We got Black leadership in San Francisco. I see what's going on. I see what people are doing. I'm like, y'all, we got to wake up, right? But it's, pulling the collective together for folks to be on, like Mark say, on code to understand what's going on. It's unfortunate sometimes we don't see it till it's too late, and that's why I do this. This is why I'm really about trying to just have these conversations so that people think about it, right? It's just to have that a conscious awakening. This stop, this conversation. I gotta do some self-care. I gotta go meditate. Maybe I gotta take a 45-minute shower. Whatever it is, community, self-care is you. Whatever it is that you like, you gotta figure it out and you gotta tap into it so that you at your ultimate peace. We living in times where there's so much going on, so many things happening. And it's like this conversation today is like, it's for me. And I need to think about this. Sometimes I go. I got all kind of medical stuff going on. I got everything. I'm like, hey, I got my own mental health, right? But I got to stay positive. I got to stay focused. I got to stay going. Because sometimes that's my self-care. Because sometimes when we stop, let me tell you, Dexter, last year, the last 2 years have been rough for me. I done lost my mother, family member, all kind of stuff. If I stopped and thought about the pain, the impact that came, the trauma to my family, the losses, I wouldn't be able to stand. So my self-care, sometimes I say, come in here, listen to Ayo, listen to Mark when I was going through those losses, to have community when my mom was there, still uplifting me. That was my self-care, because if I isolated myself, I always say this, if I go down, I'm going to stay down. So I have to keep moving, because if I stay down, it's over. If I start grieving and thinking about all the loss, I'm in a depression. See, I'm an extreme person. I'm going to go from left to right real quick. You get what I'm saying? So this is why this conversation is important, because we have other people in the community that are dealing with different things, different ways. And I'm trying to say, hey, y'all, we have to take this self-care. We have to find out what it is. But what is it where it's not overbearing, and that we get it and we receive it? Because you could do anything, but if you don't receive it, oh, man, we lost.
Yeah. And Bishop, what you just said was so important about the connection. I was watching a video earlier, and they were talking about the statistics and the difference between men and women. And because women by nature are much more relational, their relationships actually are what enable them to live longer. A lot of us as men, we die earlier because we isolate ourselves. We don't have those strong friendships where we actually sit down consistently and get together with each other. So I think that, as far as particularly as brothers, we need to be more proactive and just connecting and just being friends. Like we have to tear down some of these barriers of competition and insecurity and just start to celebrate each other, so we can have a place to really do barbershop talk, sit down, play dominoes, like where we can just be friends. We need that as adult men.
You know, that's big. I mean, you know, yesterday I was watching the game. My daughter was here, my grandbaby, family, loved ones, right? And that was just like beautiful, because we don't get this. We go. And it was just like, you know, just to be there, loving on my grandbaby and spending that time was so important. And I think you know, you nailed it, Mark, on that. You know, we have to do this. You know, we just have to do this. You know, I always say, and I agree with you about, sometimes it's the drama, man. I say this all the time. My grandmother, I'm gonna say it, she know. I don't think my grandmother would have made it to the 90s without all of the chaos and the drama and the stuff that was going on, right? Sometimes that drama keep you going, right? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the family fights keep you alive. Sometimes the back and forth, you know what I'm saying? Having to go through all that, you know, it definitely helps you, man. I mean, everybody has their own way. And I always say, some people, when they stop, they clock stop. You know, I got a lot of folks that I've watched retire 2 months after they retire, pass away, because they've been mentally going, and that's their self-care. Sometimes they don't understand it. Then they stop, try to go to this normal thought process, and the body say, nope, that's it. It's over. Crazy stuff, but it's real.
I want to just read this article I read a couple of days ago. The Los Angeles Dodgers have re-signed outfielder Andre Toles, who has schizophrenia and hasn't played since 2018, to give him access to the team's health insurance and mental health services. Toles is not expected to play for the Dodgers this season, but signing with the team will allow him to continue to receive treatment, including counseling, therapy, and medication. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's powerful. I mean, you know, nobody's exempt from this, you know, and that's the main thing that we have to know as community. You know, I always say, when it comes to this mental health, when it comes to violence, when it comes to the things that we see on the news, never think it can't impact you. And this is why you got to get involved and, you know, support each other. I tell the mothers in the community all the time, when somebody kid gets shot, I go, you should get out there and march with them. Oh, well, that's not my baby. I said, listen, because if you don't get out there and march with them, one day it's going to be your baby. You see what I'm saying? We have to, as community, stick together and be a part of the process. So it's great, you know, that being on the team, the only way he can get, you know, support. But this is what I'm talking about. How do we legislatively, how do we do our civic duty to make sure that we get this health care for everybody to get access to these services? And this is why I'm saying, community, we got to come together. When we have these calls of action, when we have these opportunities to vote, we have to do our part. Okay, because in the pandemic, our governor was able to bypass, put in an executive order to let nurses graduate early, have less hours. They didn't have to have all of the requirements to deal with COVID. We have a mental health crisis in this country. Why can't the president, why can't the governors, why can't the mayors put into play actions to reduce some of the hours that clinicians and therapists and psychiatric people have to go through to get their license to conduct business in the community or be able to do this work while they learn it. We have to find another way. I just know when there's a crisis, we find a way to get out of it. But something about mental health, there's not an urge. There's not a rush. We have to beat the drum and let these folks know, hey, we got to change this policy. We got to get our young people out here. These folks that are in school, we need them right now more than ever. Not just sitting there trying to rack up 20,000 hours. We need them to learn on the field, right? On the job. That's why I think apprenticeship is so great. When we look at apprenticeship programs, it's great because you can actually work on the job, learn, and earn. We have to bring that model to all of these professions that impact community. When we talk about substance abuse, when we talk about mental health, when we talk about violence prevention, when we talk about healthcare, these are the things that we have to hold our elected officials. No, we need now. We need to be the innovative country that we are. We need to be the innovative state that we are. San Francisco, we need to be the innovative city that we are and find a way to get these young folks who are going through their bachelor's degree, master's degree, to get them in the community who look like us, culturally appropriate, understand our struggles, get them in the field so that they can work, learn, and earn and put it all together. You have to have real life experiences. This is why I'm saying these policies, these laws, these things that we have in place that are not working for our community, we have to dismantle them. And the only way we dismantle them is we have to come together. We have to have our voices uplifted and we have to get involved to call that out. All of our medical professionals that have the knowledge, who have the understanding, you have to do your part to advocate with the community so that we can hit the head right on the target. That's where the collective comes in at. We must do that. That's the only way we can prevail. That's the only way we can move our community forward. We will not heal Black love. We will not stop the violence in the community. We will not change the anger, fear, pain. We will not stop the robberies. Okay? If we don't put a name on it, if we don't do what we need to do to make sure that these changes happen, we have to scream as loud as we sing these rap songs. We got to get involved just as much as we watch football. We have to come together. We have to take this self-care. We have to take this mental wellness. This collective approach has to happen. We have to stop being so reactive in the Black community. In 2024, I am asking for more intentionality. I'm asking for more prevention than reaction. The Black community has turned into a reactive community. We don't stand up unless something happens. We won't come together until something happens. We're not addressing issues until it impacts us. We're not getting civically involved until they say Donald Trump is winning. I don't know. We got to stop all of this reactive stuff. We have to get intentional. We have to be in a preventive mode so that we can set up our future generation of young people on the pathway of success. We cannot have success if we don't address the mental health and get self-care in our community. That is the first thing first. You can't learn if your mind ain't right. You can't earn if your mind is not right. You can't love if your mind is not right. You can't maneuver if your mind is not right. We have to make that investment. This country is going to have to make that investment to see what's going on. It's going to impact us all. We got work to do, community. Unity has to be instilled back into the community, and we going to do that. But Brother Dexter, I see you was getting like you had something to say. What's going on, brother?
So agree. But like I said in my book, some of the times that the mental health isn't mental health, it's a spiritual battle that they're going through. So us is we have to recognize which one is which, and we have to decipher which one is which. Either it's mental health or is it a spiritual battle? You know what I mean? And
wait, hold on, D. Now hold on, you hold on, because I'm gonna tell you, the spiritual is tied to the mental. If you get it internally, it's tied to your mental. So even if it's spiritual warfare, it is still an attack on the mental mind. Everything that makes us move, think, process, it's coming internally. So I can't separate the spiritual from the mental. It's mental because it's all tied to our intention. You know, it's all tied together. We can't differentiate that. I don't want that poop. I don't want you saying that because that's not what it is. Even on the spiritual attack, it's tacked into the mind. It's the mental health. Because if you're getting attacked, you have it unknown, you having anxiety, you having depression, you like, oh, it's the enemy attacking me. Oh, the devil's on. I mean, but it's still playing out in the mental aspect. Is it not?
It is, but you can have all the therapy in the world, and that ain't what it is to help you. You see where I'm getting at? That could be definitely true. Yes, it is a mental attack. But what about when you're doing all the therapy, but it's not helping you because you need to go somewhere spiritually?
So it's a combination. This is why I tell people, sometimes I tell people, if you need a prayer, maybe you need a pill. I don't know. Maybe you need an edible. I don't know. Whatever you need, figure it out for it to work for you. I'm just saying, I don't agree with all how people do it, but if you need a pill and a prayer, do the pill and prayer. Because sometimes in our community, we tell people if God can't fix it, it ain't fixed. And I'm saying sometimes God's trying to fix this. You need some chemical imbalance to be balanced, and maybe you might need something else over here. I don't know. Find what you need so that you succeed. It's a combination.
It is, and I think that's what Brother Dexter was alluding to, is understanding even in a holistic approach, you have to be able to identify the source of the issue and how to address it, because it may all manifest through the mind because we're talking about mental health. But again, you could take a pill, a chemical, put it in your stomach, and it affect the way you think. So you don't need to change, thought process. You need to stop putting that chemical in your body to change how you think. So if the source is coming from a spiritual issue, then you need to address that with a spiritual remedy, because it's still going to affect how it comes out the mind. So we do have to be holistic, and one does not cancel out or negate the other, because that's one of the things I would hate about the church when I was in ministry. They thought you could pray for everything and you didn't go talk to doctors or see nurses. No, we need to have very practical, sound wisdom that works, and sometimes it may take a combination of all of them for certain situations.
Thank you for helping me out on that one, because I felt shots was being fired on that. Bombs was being dropped.
I got you, bro.
I'm like, wait on, Bishop, hold on.
No, because you are ordained pastor, so I give you that, okay? Because I'm not ordained. He just called me the bishop because the great preacher and teacher they say I've been doing. I don't know, but this is what I have to say in this self-care, and I know you're doing a phenomenal job of that, Dexter. But sometimes in our pulpit, that's where the problem lies. See, we're just now coming around to where Black folks in this country is starting to look and seek out professional help, because we had church pastors saying the devil is in you. Oh, if you got mental health, you say you know what I'm saying? So we stigmatize this real issue that's been impacting us. And I'm just saying the chemical part, because Black folks, we don't get the level of health services other folks get. And when Ayo read about schizophrenia, when you look at what's going on holistically with young folks being impacted by these chemical imbalance, Down syndrome, folks being impacted by all kind of chemical issues that impacted them in different kind of ways, we have to find those different remedies that help, because it might be one process to work with your child or this community child this way. They might don't need a pill. They do. They say same thing for ADHD, ADD. I don't know. I got all of them. I thought they diagnosed me a long time ago. I'm not taking the pill. I'm like, I'm going to pray for it and stay on it. But it's just what it is. I got a gift. I got something that God gave me other that I can tap into to keep me from that area. But some people need it. You know what I'm saying? And managing. And this is why I'm saying all of this plays a part to what you said, because when you look at it and you bring it back around to self-care, you have to be able to process what you need for yourself. And it goes back to how we identify. Because if we don't understand what we need, we don't have the confidence to believe what we feeling, or is it okay to feel like what we feeling? This is why we need these conversations in our community, because we have to heal the community. Because now we have young people who are afraid to come tell, I'm having some feeling. Now they go tell their parents, I feel like this. Oh, you a sissy, you this, right? Now so it's a lot that you could cover under that, but we have to do our part. And this is why I'm saying having a conversation, being able to do it, but it all ties back to that mental wellness and self-care. but being able to identify. And this is why I tell people, don't just tell my community you doing the work, you're going to therapy, you doing this and that, but you're not letting them know what it looks like. Because somebody out there might not have the level of access to you. And they say, well, what you're doing that's working for you, how do I base where I'm at in my care? Right? It's just like people say, hey, I don't need to go listen to the pastor. I can read the Bible myself and interpret it, right? But how do you get to that point where you bridge that gap of understanding and say, hey, that's my self-care. This is my connecting. This is what I need to do. Because it's a lot, D. I mean, it's a lot. And, I just want to make sure that, when we talk about this, because we have a disconnect, and I'm happy to know that you are doing the work you're doing spiritually, because we need young leaders in the pulpit to really pull the next generation, because we got to disconnect with the church and the community. And we have to find that harmony. I don't know what it's going to take, but there's a harmony connection that needs to happen. Radical harmony. Oh, there you go. That's a new one. Radical harmony in the community. Okay. Because there's a disconnect, and going back to what I talked about earlier, for the Martin Luther King March, Glide was out there, the choir was singing, but the young people didn't feel connected. They didn't feel that connection. And I'm saying, you look at the churches around the country right now, young people are not connecting spiritually. So when you talk about the spiritual warfare, how do we, you see what I'm saying? How do we figure out what it is in our community so that we can connect? Because there's some disconnection why our young people, the community, is not pouring into the churches, into the spiritual realms like they used to. There's something. So if it's spiritual, if it's mental, I don't know what that connection is, or where that disconnection is. But we have to bring it around, because for some people that's going to work. Some people it's not going to work. But together, we can have a mixture that pull the unit together.
Well, once again, it goes off to, going back to the basics of the olden days is the village. We all need to come together, and it really falls into the fact that we have a lot of distractions in this world too. And that's the reason why it's not reaching out to the youth. And because of us are used to being an older style, we're not hip with the newer style to pull into the youth, to get the youth in. You know what I mean? We're doing things the way that we know back in the day, but that's not reaching out to the younger youth. So us as adults and us as older leaders, we need to find out what is getting to the youth to bring the youth in. And then once we get the youth in, we need to come together as a village to make sure we keep the youth in.
I gotta say this, Dexter, because you like the 20th person that come on my show talking about the village. I'm blowing up the spot, okay? I don't know who the village is, okay? These people that we're talking about in the village, I don't agree with, okay? I'm going to just tell you right now. When you talk about the village, when I look at my community, I don't know who's the village, because the stuff that I see in our community right now, I don't want the young people going to these people in the village. They terrible. When I talk about the adults in our community, I'm just saying, I'm not so impressed with the village. So when y'all tell me who is this village that we're talking about, because the people that I see in the village right now, when I look on social media, because that's part of the village. See, we're going to look at all areas. When I see grown women teaching little girls how to twerk, when I see young people, adults, no, I'm being real. Who is the village?
You are in the village. Yourself is in the village.
I get that. I knew you was going to throw me in there. But when I'm
saying, I'm in the village.
I get it.
Village. You know what I mean?
Gotta be careful. But Dexter, what I'm telling you,
you do got to be careful. You do got to.
I hear about this village. I've been in these meetings. Everybody, the village. I'm like, who is the village? Because I need to know. Because the people that I see operating and functioning, I say, this ain't the village. When I look on social media and see what these parents is allowing these kids, this is not the village I want to be associated with.
But that still falls into, once again, that's how that the ones twerking and doing stuff on that on social media. Yes, they're reaching out to the youth, but we need to do the same thing on social media as well to reach out to the youth. You know what I mean? So therefore,
I ain't twerking on social media for the youth. I am not.
No, we ain't talking about twerking. We talking about positivity. You know what I mean? When they seeing positivity and they seeing role models, you know what I mean? Now you got that red pill or the blue pill. You got a decision to make. And us as leaders got to make sure that the kids understand we want you to come this way. Not OnlyFans or not
I might need more
around the corner.
I don't know. What's the difference between the red pill and the blue pill? Is it just color? What pill is giving me more? I need to know what's in these pills you're talking about. Red pill, blue pill. Is it a happy pill, a hot pill, a cold pill? I don't know. I hear this red pill. What is the difference? What's in the pill?
The difference is in life we have choices. Okay. And you have to decipher what is the right choice.
So which pill is the right? Which pill is right? Is red right? Blue right? I got red on it. Is red pill the best pill? I don't know. You tell me, brother. You talk about it.
But to say that's once again on the choice. Everybody, we all, like I said, we all got choices. But to choose the right choice is the best choice.
So I'm just gonna say it's a good versus evil, the right side and the wrong side, God's side or enemy side. I don't know. Whatever you need out there, community, but I'm on the right side. I'm trying to step on the right side. We got enough people on the wrong side. Go ahead, Ayo. I'm sorry.
It's using your discernment, but I want to shout out. We had her on our show during Mental Health Month, and the organization is Heart and Soul Inc. They have just started up a safe space Zoom for young adults and teenagers to speak about mental health. My son got to be a part of their first session yesterday, and he was like, Mom, is this going to be every Saturday? He was inspired. It's a safe space they've created for mental health, learning what self-care is, all of these things. And I think that if we were able as different community organizations to create these safe spaces and have more outpouring, more constructive events that focused on this, it would help both adults and children. When it comes to the village, it's who you choose to be a part of your village. It's creating that village. Like they say, not all family is blood, right? It's making sure that you surrounding yourself with people who add to where you're going. Yes, we have history with people, but we can't always hold on to that because history can be an anchor, like you said, right? Can't help everybody. Everybody's not meant to follow you on your journey. So we can recreate our village as we go through these cycles in life. Our journey in life, we don't know the destination. We don't know the end game, right? But it's who we create and utilizing everything that we learn and applying those lessons. Okay, I know this person does this, and that, or I know this person, we got a history doing that. That's not the route I'm going on. I want to surround myself with people who are like-minded and like-hearted, people who have an elevated mindset, people who are developers, people who are nurturers, people who are submissive in a way and able and capable of compromising for the greater good. Everybody can't lead. Everybody ain't built to. But I want to be a part of that working mechanism to say we are utilizing what we have to be the village to get into the greater good. One goal, one purpose, and we all on steadfast. We all have a position that we play in the village. It's who you want to create it with, though.
I'm blowing up the spot, Ayo. I got the red pill. I don't know. I think the red pill is tied to masculinity. I think the red pill is tied to...
You don't need no pills. Okay? You don't need...
Hey, he sure don't.
See, this is why I got to blow the spot up because y'all be trying to get me. But y'all know what? Listen, self-care is what we're shooting for in 2024. I hope we all get a little bit of it this year. I hope this year we make self-care a priority in our community. We need to change the narrative on this mental health, and self-care is a part of it. We're going to have to deal with the anxiety. We have to deal with the suicide. We have to deal with all the other things, but self-care, we have to start there. We've been putting a lot of information up there, things you could do, meditate, rest, Maybe we need to put together a self-healing group. You know, we have all these groups for everything. Maybe we need a Black self-healing group where we all just come together. Maybe we go somewhere where it's hard and the spirit is low and we just heal and meditate. I don't know. We need some love. We need radical change this year. Radical self-care this year. Let's get it, because we need it. And, you know, you look around what's going on. The pressure of life is starting to impact people every day. You look at what's going on in the economic realm, look at what's going on in the business realm, look what's going on in the job realm. Jobs are being lost. People are having less and less faith. We talk about hope, something about the folks in the past. Oh, you know, we hope. That thing of hope and optimism that we're looking for, it's not looking so in the realm of grabbing it. I don't know. We going fishing, Brother Dexter, because you know what I'm saying? It's catch and release. You know what I mean? It's that catch and release season. We don't want to catch the big mouth bass too soon. Okay. We want to be able to keep throwing our pole out. That's where the hope is. Throwing your pole out, hoping that you catch something. I don't know. The fishermen are standing on the bank. They're not really near nothing. We got to catch us one this year. Maybe self-care is the big fish that we need to catch to bring in so that we can have some self-care. Maybe we need more people on the bank. Maybe the more poles that's out there throwing in there, we'll catch something. Maybe the more people fishing, self-care will happen. Maybe we'll catch the big one. I don't know. But if it's enough of us coming together in unity, we all talking about the same thing. Self-care, how can we be better? Community, be patient out there. Self-care is important. When somebody tell you no, or they don't return your call fast enough, or they don't get back to you, have a little humility, have a little, compassion, and say, baby, that brother's busy. He's going through something. That sister's busy. She's going through something. Have a little patience because you are part of the village, they said. They letting you in. I don't know. I'm closing the door. I'm not. But we have to have this self-care. We have to have this love. We have to pull it all together so that we can have one common goal, on code together, so that we can have the things that we need to be great in our community. We can do this. We could tackle the stigma. We could deal with the taboo part of mental health. We could come to the table and talk about the things that impact us. We have voices. We are the voice of the people. We will uplift the voices of the people. We have a space. No judgment. Just come in here and be your authentic self. We have to have a space. When we talk about safe space, we also have to talk about what that look like. No judgment. We have to be able to keep what's in the safe space safe. You get what I'm saying? We have to protect our sacred spaces. We are the treasures. I don't know about y'all, but I'm protecting the treasure box, okay? The voices of the people, we have to protect them, but we must uplift them. We must tell the truth. We must be vulnerable to have the conversation. I think this is why today is so important that Brother Dexter is here, to be vulnerable, to talk about the things that has impacted him, to talk about the work he's doing, community, self-care. Today's conversation is about you. How are you going to prioritize your self-care this year? When are you going to read a book? When are you just going to turn the music on? Maybe you're going to dance. I don't know. Whatever you need to feel your whole self, to get back to your sacred ground. You got to figure that out today. Let's figure it out, community. We're here to talk about it. We got a few more minutes before we get out of here. I want to get ready to kind of start wrapping up. But Brother Dexter, if there's anything that you want to talk about, our community needs this. We're pushing self-care. You're a hope dealer today. You said you was a hustler. You was a winemaker today. Sell my community hope, brother. They need some hope about this self-care.
It's about choices, and then it's about what did you love to do. And the main thing of doing what you like to do, like for instance, I like cleaning up, listen to music, cleaning up. I ain't doing nothing but cleaning up. But dancing, listening to music, cleaning up is one of my self-care. Getting on the road and just going up in the mountains is one of my self-care. Going to the beach and just watching the waves crash is a self-care. Fishing, very therapeutic. You might not catch nothing, but fishing is very therapeutic. Working out, taking your frustration and going to the gym and working out. You transferring that negative energy that you have into something better, which is getting healthy, you know what I mean, and getting your body right. Like Io said, working out, and you transferring that energy, and that's mainly what it is finding something that you are passionate about, finding something that you love, and doing it the right way. not the other way, but the right way.
Man. Go ahead, brother.
Well, again, I just want to follow this up and kind of self-care has to be important to you as a person, because at the end of the day, there's nothing more valuable in your life that you can invest in other than yourself. So, with everything going on, all the chaos, all the demands of life, all the pools of relationships and careers, if you don't prioritize your own self, everything else will crumble.
Man, that's pretty deep. I mean, I don't know. I'm feeling like I gotta sit down and reevaluate myself. Maybe I'm not gonna answer my phone a little bit longer. Maybe I'm not gonna answer the phone and step out. Maybe I'm gonna take my own self-care a little so serious this year. You can't be everywhere and do everything. But we got to practice this. We got to put these things in place so that we can have a better community. I heard Dexter said earlier, when we exercise, when we do the things that we need to do to exhort some of these energies and some of the things that's in us, we could be better. Maybe our attitudes change because we're feeling better. Maybe it's a conversation. I don't know. Picking up the phone sometimes, talking to people inspire you. I don't know. You have to find what that self-care is. You have to get out there and do your work. You have to be hungry. Got to ask questions. Got to keep tuning in. We'll keep bringing people here to talk about the things, give you some ideas. The best part about talking and networking is listening to different perspectives, different understandings is very important. So, we have some tools. We have some opportunities. We just have to make sure that we are doing our part to help push the narrative and change the narrative of our community. When we're telling the stories, when we're vulnerable, letting people know that we got an opportunity to change this. And we're going to keep doing that. I'm excited. I'm excited because I know all of us here, we are the village that we talked about that could start that change. Brother Mark, when they see you doing self-care, they're going to change. Brother Dexter, when they see you doing self-care, they're going to change. Ayo, when they see you doing the self-work, when they see your energy change, when they see your attitude change, when they see your conversation change, when they see how you walk different change, that's going to inspire somebody. Because we used to seeing people show up the way they are. We might be able to diagnose what somebody's going through, but until they realize it, and until we connect with them and articulate a way to correct them and say, listen, I see some things that you're going through, but how do you get to somebody if you don't connect? This is why this connection thing is so important. See, when me and Mark, we meet each other, we talk, we connect. Now I can say, hey, brother, don't do this. I see something going on, don't do this. He can tell me. Maybe if he didn't know me, what you talking about, man? Who are you, man? Get out of my way, bitch. Tell me something. What you talking about, man? You see what I'm saying? That's why we have to do our work. This is why we have to be vulnerable. And I hope as the months come on, I know we just coming out of the holidays. I know it's raining. Community. We got to uplift our Sunday conversation. These conversations about you. It's about the community. We have to be vulnerable. We can change the community by our experiences. Because somebody's going through something you're going through. Maybe somebody's feeling something right now. Maybe somebody is overwhelmed. Maybe there's a single mother out there right now. Because of all of the kids, because she don't give a break, because she doesn't have family, have to do everything. Maybe she's at the point of burnt out. I don't know. I just heard a news story yesterday in Santa Rosa, somewhere in the North Bay. A mother kills her 10-month-old baby. I don't know why. I didn't read the whole article. It was too much for me. But maybe our single parents, they need self-care. Maybe they need this conversation tonight to say, hey, you know what? I'm crying for help. This is why we need to create hubs of services 24 hours. See, when we talk about the parents, when we talk about the failure of the family courts, the failure of child support, this is why we need to have a community, a village, a hub. When we look at support, how do we keep 24-hour daycares open? How do we give that single mother who don't have a mom or a dad or a grandma that can take that pressure off? Maybe don't have a friend. Maybe don't have the kids' fathers. Maybe don't have somebody that they can lean on. How do we create something for them so that we don't lose other young babies to mental health issues? People out there killing their kids because they want to go out and dance. They ain't got a break. There's a lot of stuff going on, community. So self-care is very important. When we talk about our wellness, when we talk about our wholeness, it starts with us. But we have to be vulnerable, and that's why it's important for the community. When we're putting out this ads to be a panel and come talk about this, because it's something you went through, something you might identify as going to help impact somebody in our community watching. I see it happen all the time. I've seen it for Io. I've seen it for Mark. Hey, man, people come to me. Hey, man, you know what Io just said, man, I was going through it. That touched me. Hey, brother Mark said this. That's real, man. I felt that. It happens. But if we don't get out here, we don't talk about it, because everybody ain't going to be able to experience what I experienced. Everybody ain't going to be able to experience what Dex experienced. But your experience, your voice can be amplified. You might touch somebody on this Sunday conversation. You might grab the whole of a mind of a young people when you speak up about some of the things you've been through. When you talk about the things that you're trying to do, you might motivate a young person to change their life. You might get a young person, Dexter, to get in the pulpit. We have to be open. See, this is why leadership, when we talk about what's demonstrating what's possible, Nate is demonstrating what's possible, passing the torch to the young brother. Y'all run the league. If we could get some of our spiritual pastors to pass the torch to the young people, hey, you know what? I want to get some young people up here preaching on Sunday. I want y'all to get part of what's going on. Maybe we start having change. Maybe the young people need to run the choir. I don't know. Let the young people get involved. Let's uplift and inspire the young people. Let's teach them self-care. See, how can we teach the kids if we don't even do it ourselves, community? Adults, we are the problems. We must change the narrative. We got to do it because it starts with us. If the kids don't see you dealing with coping skills and when things are happening, you're just yelling and screaming. Yeah, we got some parents out there that's just ratting and raving. Shut up, sit down, because they irritated because they haven't got no self-care. How do you express when you need self-care? Who do you turn to? Who's your accountability partner? Who do you call? Like, I just need a break. Yeah, who do you run to? I'm just saying, community, we got to think about this all the way around. It takes a lot. We can do it. Bring your voice to the table. We're amplifying the voices of the people. Where are you at? Sunday conversation. There should be some folks in here. Everybody's being impacted by lack of self-care. We all working more jobs. We all hustling more. We all moving more. Everybody can't be getting self-care. You look at what's going on in the community. Everybody's frustrated. People don't smile. They don't say good morning. Everybody's angry. Everybody's tired. We're not getting self-care. As much as we want to admit that we are, we're really not. Look at where we at. The times we are in, the way people are functioning. We got to get this self-care. It has to be a part of what we do. So I appreciate today's Sunday conversation. Y'all got me a little worked up. It's been a couple of days. I haven't been on air. I got to get going again. We're getting off to the slow start like the Niners did yesterday. Community, where you at? All my hidden gems, all of my black businesses, where y'all at? Don't tell me black businesses ain't thriving in America. Reach out. We want to highlight you. All my educators, all these great people walking around. I got a doctorate degree. I got a master's degree. I'm in a sorority fraternity. Where you at? I need you on my educational Thursday. Come show my community something. You're so great. You're doing so much educationally. Come intentionally educate our community. Where are those PowerPoint presentations that y'all sell to the corporate America? Look what I'm doing. Oh, you can go sell your PowerPoint presentation to the corporate office, Hollywood, everywhere else. But when it comes to the community, I don't have time. I don't have nothing for the community. Where are you at? Community. Let's get it together. Let's not walk around in 2024 boasting about our doctorate degrees and our master degrees and our sororities. And I'm throwing up this and that. Let's figure out how we're going to bless the people this year. We're going to need it. We are in an economic crisis in this country. We're headed to World War III. We are having the worst community job layoff ever in history. We have the worst budget cuts happening across the country. I need my community more than ever now to step up. Bring the resources to the day. It's raining. The rainy day is now. We don't have time to save for the rainy day. It's storming outside now. The rain is here. Let's go, community. Let's talk about it. So we're going to wrap this thing up, y'all. It's time to get out of here. Brother Dexter.
Yes,
Before
guys.
we leave today, brother, every Sunday conversation, we give everybody opportunity to wrap up today's conversation, leave something to the community, drop some gems for the community, plant some seeds for the community tonight. Before we get away, you can also promote your book and give any shout outs you want. This is the time to do that, brother. But leave some seeds, brother. It's raining outside. The seeds will be wet. When the sun comes, we want them to grow. Get the people something before we go, brother.
I'm gonna say a slogan that I go off of, and I said it on your show. We all in life has choices, but to choose the right choice is the best choice. And to know the right choice is the best choice. So with that being said is, you got to know from right from wrong. And us as adults have to help guide the youth to know what's right and wrong. Because as you know, we got people on social media perpetrating as what this is right. I'm a drug dealer, this is right. Or I'm over here twerking, I got this much money, which steers the youth the opposite way. So us has unity and positivity, we need to come together and grab our youth back because they're going the opposite way. And in closing, on top of that, I'm gonna thank God, and I'm gonna thank, both sides of the conversation. And I'm gonna thank, my mother and father for raising me and putting up with the trouble that I went through as a youth and trying to find myself. But once again, they didn't give up on me. So as us being youth, I'm being adults, we can't give up on the youth. And that's about it. My book is on Amazon, Against All Odds. It's a lot of gems in it. Like I said, it's a motivational book for the youth on how I overcame. It's a testimony book. And there's a lot of ways of how I overcame spiritual battles and what I did for self-health. What did I did as far as when I was going through addiction, how did I overcame addiction, how did I overcame abusive relationships and things in that source. So I just want to say once again, I'm proud of both sides of the conversation. I'm thankful for y'all on giving this platform and providing this platform for everyone, because we need this.
Man, all I can say is thank you, brother. You are a change maker. When we talk about people that are changing the narrative, you are doing that. Just appreciate you being here. Just having you here today makes a difference. Somebody out here is touched. Hopefully the next week and the week coming, more of our community folks will sign up and be a part of these conversations. This is a community thing. And we do need to hear the voices of the people. We can't make change when we know what's going on. No change happened without the voices of the people being uplifted. And I'm just thankful again for your vulnerability, man. As a Black man, regardless of who couldn't make it today, you were here. And, I just want to change that narrative, because they always say, Black man, we don't show up. Where the Black man at? Y'all ain't showing up. We not doing any work. And all I want to say is there's Black brothers out here that's doing the work, trying to make a different change. Maybe it's not at the speed and the time that everybody in the community wants it. Maybe it's not at the time you want it in your relationship, but there is work happening. There are conversations happening. Brothers are coming to the table. Brothers are uplifting their voices. Brothers are trying to do the things to make change. And again, brother, much success to you. Anything we could do to continue to support you on your journey and the work that you're doing, your businesses here at both sides of the conversation, we will always do that, because we all about lifting up our businesses and people. If you got a special going on, anything new, just reach out, sign up for our Hidden Gem show, because we want to keep this content consistent with the community, what's up and coming, so that folks know where to go, where to spend their Black dollars, and how to uplift this Black ecosystem and have joy within our people. So I appreciate you. Thank you for being here for the short time with us tonight, and giving up your Sunday and being the pastor that you are. See, he's an ordained pastor, so I can give him that. Okay, I'm just the bishop. All right, thank you, brother, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the future. And anything we can do to help, just reach out, man. We're gonna be here for you, brother. All right, y'all. They're gonna brother Dexter, man, coming back again, showing love, giving the folks, what he's doing, how he's doing self-care, and that's really what it's all about. We're just trying to bring something to the forefront that we could think about as a community, because maybe you've been waking up, cooking, cleaning, getting your kids ready for next week, meal prepping, and you ain't took no time for yourself. When do you go in the corner and just take 45 minutes to close your eyes and meditate? I don't know. Today, You've heard from the community. You've heard from us here at both sides of the conversation. Self-care is a must. Please get your self-care community. With that being said, Brother Mark, the voice, he's another ordained reverend. Okay, I'm not ordained. Stop coming for me, community. I don't know. The community called me the bishop. I'm not in the pulpit. Go ahead, the voice.
Well, the good thing about it, Bishop, you don't need a title or a degree to do the work, and brother, you do the work. So your work speaks for your own self. So appreciate you. But this has been a really, really good conversation. It's probably one of the ones that I personally enjoy. I've been into personal self-development now since about 2012. So yeah. So a little over a decade, I've been into personal self-development for myself. I know what it's done for me because I know where I came from. And I want to make sure that we can leave the community with something practical, and I'll keep it short. But if you want to just do something simple, take the first 10, maybe 15 minutes of your day with a routine and do something for 3 areas of your life. One is physical. The first thing in the morning, whether it's stretching, exercising, whatever workout you do, dancing, make sure within the first few minutes that you wake up that you do something physical for yourself. The other thing is going to be something mental. I'm a big fan of affirmations and auto suggestion, as Napoleon Hill teaches in Think and Grow Rich. Come up with ideas, things for yourself, things that you believe and want to see in yourself, and write out a personal script, something that you will read to yourself to affirm who you are, how valuable you are, how powerful you are, how magnificent you are. Whatever script you come up with, because the most powerful voice you will ever hear is your own voice talking back to yourself. And the last thing is find a song, because you want to feel something. And there's no more powerful thing than music when it comes to evoking emotion and feeling. So find a song that inspires you, that speaks to you. And in your morning, if you will take the first 10 to 15 minutes to go through a simple routine where you do something for yourself physically, something for yourself mentally, and something that you can feel in your soul, then I think you will have the great recipe for self-care going forward.
Thank you, Brother Mark. See, this is why you are the voice. See, I'm going to listen to some James Brown now. I'm black and I'm brown. I'm going to get it. I don't know. Maybe I get on this man's world. I don't know. They might get mad, man. Be throwing shots at me. Blow up the spot. Blow the bishop up. He's too much about it. It's a man's world. Don't get mad. It's man's world, y'all. All right. With that being said, the queen is here. Io, the queen of the platform. Give the people something, queen, before we leave today. I know you always got a good wrap up. What's your call to action today?
Learning what self-care looks like to you. It's not the same for everyone. Some people, self-maintenance is self-care, just keeping themselves up, look good, feel good. Other people, it's actually divulging deeper in and making sure what you exude is what you're attracting. My thing is discipline. Wake, pray, meditate. Just like Mark said, I spend my first hour of the day for myself. Set the tone and my intentions of my day. Not to say we don't face challenges within our day that can deter us off our path, but once you are armed with that intention, you're able to shift it. So find what makes you glimmer. Find that glimmer.
All I can say is this. See, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know. When I get up, I got emails. I'm on the phone checking emails. People calling me. I don't know.
And that's why your day be stressed, because you don't set the tone. You step out, you wake up, and it's right to the thing. You got to set the tone, brother. You're going to have to stop that. 5, 10, 15 minutes. I know you probably can't take an hour. Give yourself a couple minutes just to center yourself, because the day needs the best version of yourself, and you deserve to give that to the world.
Don't touch your phone for the first 15 minutes you wake up. How about that?
Man, I got to figure out something. Today was a pill that I had to swallow. I think it was a red pill that I swallowed today, okay? I'm swallowing the take care of yourself pill, self-preservation, okay? I'm going to get the self-preservation pill. The red pill is getting taken today, okay? Self-care is everything. I'm going to take you all advice. I'm going to figure out a way to set the foundation of my day, get myself grounded, put my feet in the mud. It's raining outside. I'm going to just step outside with no shoes on and just feel Mother Nature, feel the water, listen to the air, listen to the birds. I don't know. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to run outside after the show. Oh, Lord. I'm going to figure it out. But we'll get there. So, community, this is where the end of the show is coming. The bishop is here to give you the benediction for the day. We're going to be back here on Tuesday for our Hidden Gem segment. All my hidden gems, don't be canceling because it's raining outside. Show up. Educational Thursday, we try to get another panelist for Educational Thursday. Our guest canceled. If you are out there, you have a PowerPoint presentation. Maybe you want to come educate the people about your organization, your program that you have for community. Sign up for Educational Thursdays. Make sure you come on. Give the people some sauce. Give them the game that they need. But with that being said, we know the Detroit Lions are headed to San Francisco. I don't know what's going on with the Kansas City Buffalo game. I'll find out. Next week is championship weekend. I don't know about Sunday conversation next Sunday. The Niners are in the big game. I don't know, community. We stand by. We'll let you know. I don't know. I think my people in San Francisco might be mad if we have a Sunday conversation next week. I don't know. The Niners is playing. We'll figure it out. We'll let y'all know during the week. Stay tuned, community. Bang, bang, Niner gang. I see y'all. We out there showing up. All right. With that being said, I'm going to get y'all out here. The bishop. Give me the benediction. All right. With that being said, community, today, Sunday conversation. You heard the community. You heard the people here at both sides of the conversation. We took some time today, some self-care. We came here to talk to you about the things in 2024 you need to do. When we talk about wellness, we talk about mental health. Self-care is at the forefront of what we need to do this year. We're going to find this year to be the year. We're going to take time. We're going to be patient. We're going to be intentional. We're going to listen to some music and we're going to relax. We're going to eat the right food. We're going to change our diet. I don't know. We're going to read some books. We're going to do something great today. I heard Brother Dexter today talk about choices. We got to make some choices this year. I don't know. We got some political choices we got to make. We have some legal choices that we got to make. We got some relationship choices that we got to make this year in 2024. We got some friendships that we got to make a choice on. I don't know. Things are happening, community. The only way you can change who you are and know who you are, you have to go through this process of self-identifying, self-care, taking a minute to yourself, finding out what you love. You can't love anyone else if you don't know how to love yourself. You can't bless anybody else if you don't bless yourself. You can't support anybody else if you don't support yourself. Today, self-care is on the menu. I don't know what you're ordering, but the first thing on the menu is self-care. You, self-preservation. You have to take care of you, community. You are everything. Without you, you can't feed your family. Without you, you can't love your kids. Without you, you can't wake up and keep going every day. It's about you. This year, let's take some time to think about us, community. When you reach it out to people, give them grace, give them favor. Maybe somebody didn't return the call fast. Give them grace, give them favor. I don't know. This year, self-care. Find a way to relax. Find a way, as Ayo said, get grounded. Find something that you could connect to, that could take your mind off everything that's going on. No ruminating this year. This year, we are focused. This year, we are intentional. We take care of ourselves. It's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to spend a few dollars on yourself. Love yourself. And this year, 2024, there's so many things that we're going to continue to move forward, uplift, highlight. Self-care is the start. We're going to continue to talk about mental health, wellness, education, financial literacy. We're going to keep doing that for our community. Somebody's going to get it. At some point, we're going to get it because we are the reactive community. When things hit us, we will react. When the checkbook don't balance, we will react. When the phone calls are coming in, the bills didn't get paid, we will react. So why not make sure that the information, we're being intentional, making sure you get the sauce so you can be prepared. You heard us earlier talk about we want preventive in 2024. We want to be preventive. We don't want to be reactatory. We want to be preventive. We want to connect before we correct. We want to start these processes now. It's a journey, community. It's not going to happen overnight. But if we don't prioritize our mental health If we don't prioritize the time to ourselves, if we don't put our phones down for a minute, if we don't send those calls to voicemail, if we don't remove ourselves from them emails, if we don't just take a time to unwind, unpack, I don't know where we at. There's prayer. There's pills. There's other methods that you could do what you need to do for your self-care. I don't know. Maybe it's a prayer and a pill. Maybe it's a pill and not edible. I don't know, community. Find what you need to get grounded. Find what you need so that you can have that self-care so your blood pressure is not running high. Bad news is coming. It's the choice that you get when you get the news. You heard the brother said either it's right or wrong. You can either step into it or you can step away from it. I don't know. Our young people need us. Community elders. Self-care. Don't run yourself into the grave. Pass the torch to the young people. Elders, pass the torch to the young people. Give them what they need so they can have the self-care that they need. Teach them. Give them the tools and equip them so that they can be great in our community. With that being said, community, thank you for tuning in, putting up with the bishop all day. We are still blowing up the spot because that's what we do here at both sides of the conversation. We're going to keep blessing the people. We're going to keep uplifting the people. We're going to keep advocating for the people. It's about consistency. You can't lead the people if you don't feed the people with love, food, education, information. That's my belief. What is yours? I'm not preaching prosperity. It's action. Love is action. Go make some action, community. With that being said, tune in this Tuesday for our Hidden Gem show. Y'all know that's our favorite show of the week. Positivity. Something great's going to happen on Tuesday. I don't know. Tune in this Tuesday at 7 p.m. Maybe you're watching on YouTube right now. You haven't subscribed. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the alert button. Anytime we go live in the community, you'll see what's going on. You'll be the first to know. You can say, oh, did y'all see the bishop acting crazy on both sides? He didn't sleep for 2 hours and he started being delirious. I don't know. I'm going to take my own medicine now. I'm going outside in the rain. I'm going to absorb the rain, absorb the wind. I don't know. Self-care. I like that. Let me go outside in the rain. Stand in the rain. I'm going to sing in the rain. Oh, nights like this, I wish raindrops would fall out. I'm blowing up the spot. I see y'all, community. I'm a fool, okay? See, I'm nuts. I need my mental health. Where's my therapist at today? All right. With that being said, community, thank you for tuning in. Again, our bowling event is coming up next month on February 25th at 2 p.m. Community, get ready. We got buses. You got to sign up, community. Y'all got to do your part. I'm providing a way for you to ride in. All you got to do is sign up. We got buses in 2 locations taking people to the bowling alley. We got our essay contest parents. Okay, we giving away some cash for these essays. Get your little babies up and write these essays so they get a few dollars in their pocket. We're going to bless somebody. Somebody's going to be a winner. Come on, community. Adults. Be the great adult you are. Get the kids to write the essay. Turn them in. I want to see some craftiness. I want to see some brilliantness from our young people in their thought process. So, with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. It's raining out here in the Bay Area. Be safe. The temperatures are dropping. Bring your pets in. And all you dog owners, bring the dogs in. It's going to be cold tonight. Get your sandbags ready. The flood is here. Flooding is here. It's going to be raining for the next couple of days. It's coming down out here in the Bay. Stay safe, community. Drive safe. And make sure you're doing all the things that you need to protect yourself from flooding. And pay attention. Keep the alarm on. You might get an alarm. It might sound like this. I don't know. Okay, you might get an alarm. It's flooding. It's flooding. Get out. Listen to the call. Okay. All right. With that being said, good evening, community. Be safe out there. Stay warm. Have a great week. We'll see you all Tuesday for our next live show at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our Hidden Gem show. I'm taking a red pill now. Good night now.